Hello, my Virgo friends. How are you doing? It's good to see y'all. This video is for Virgo sun signs and rising ascendants. And in this video, I'm going to be doing an astrological horoscope prediction for you for the full moon in Scorpio, and then a tarot spread, an intuitive tarot spread based on the Celtic cross spread. So let's just get right into it. Hello, Virgos, good to see you all. So this full moon in Scorpio is happening in your third house. And the house that the full moon is happening in represents the areas of life that you're going to be seeing this energy. So the third house is ruled by Gemini, and it's a house that represents siblings, communication, doing errands. Some other things are the mind, communication, social, and also recreational activity as well. And so a tarot correspondent for Gemini is major arcana number 6, which is the Lover's card, and that is Mercury in Gemini. So over the last 2 weeks, you have been spending a lot of probably time at home, transiting through the fourth house, which is ruled by Cancer. So that means that you've maybe been spending some time at home, taking care of yourself, relaxing, recuperating, but now you're in a really public sphere and you're having to do a lot of things that involve communication. So upcoming for you during the full moon in Scorpio may look like having to make calls, maybe having to do business things, reach out to bureaucratic entities and get your taxes filed, or potentially like get your car registration, or all sorts of like little communicative things with lots of different people. And so the mundane things in your life are starting to catch up with you, and you may be feeling a little bit ticked off that you have to do all of this stuff right now. And errands are needing to be run. You need to talk to people about different things. You need to do a bunch of different paperwork. That's the energy of the third house for a full moon in Scorpio. And a full moon in Scorpio is really for all of us representing a transformative time, a kind of a time of extremes where we're bringing up things that have been hidden into the light and transforming and illuminating them. And so there may be past paperwork things that you've needed to get done, and now is the time that you're hitting the crunch and you really got to get them in. And important documents could arrive, or a sudden need to run an errand or take a short trip may be part of the picture. And you're being pushed to find a balance right now, a balance between getting all of this external work done and taking care of yourself. And Virgo, if you know anything, it's about being able to be steady and consistent and have control over your environment. So maybe because full moon in Scorpio is a great time for self-reflection and self-evaluation, it could be a good time to just look through your paperwork and make sure that you have a count of all of your documents, or have a computer account with all of your stuff on it so that you can easily access things. And maybe it's also a time for creating a productivity system that will work for you. And so what needs to be done, do what needs to be done so that you can free yourself up for the more adventurous and fulfilling activities that come your way. And so how the full moon in Scorpio interacts with you, a Virgo sign, is you're a mutable earth sign and Scorpio is a fixed water. So what do earth and water make? It's like a mud, but this is a good mud. This is a mud that can kind of fuel your growth and fuel both of your growth. So we see the sign in which the moon is located determines how the energy manifests itself. And when it's in Scorpio, don't be surprised if you are feeling really angry or ticked off that you have to do all of this work, or that the emotional, big upheaval, transformative energy of Scorpio might just kind of be anchoring you because you want to have a little bit more grounded energy, and you might want to feel like you have more control over your environment. But all of these external situations are coming in your way and making you feel like, oh man, I have to be around the intense emotions of all of these different people. So you may react in quick anger during this time to try to get things done. But you may be especially infuriated if your privacy is breached, if your internal home structure that you take care of really well is being messed with by any of these external forces. And it's a time to take extra care online, in social media, or in areas of connection with your community or with society. And this is also a good time for speaking or writing and making logical appeals. So it could be a great time for you to write persuasive letters to people, or advocacy letters, or anything that takes that sort of persuasive part of Scorpio with parts of you that may be angered by these situations before you, and turn it into something good where you're really channeling all of your energy into something that can create change. So that's just a little bit about the full moon in Scorpio for you, Virgo. Up next, we're going to do a tarot reading. And as mentioned before, this is adapted Celtic Cross tarot spread. And I've linked it in the description below so that you can do this reading on your own if you'd like to. Okay, so Virgo, the current situation for you during this full moon in Scorpio is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups represents a relinquishment, or a letting go, or a turning away from something that you've previously known. Eights are usually in the minor arcana a challenge or an intensity, an intense part of the journey, sort of the beginning of the third act. And with the Eight of Cups, this is a very Piscean Mercury in Pisces energy. This is changing direction based on spiritual beliefs, on your emotions, on your moods. So you could see this in your life of letting go of a job, or letting go of a romantic partner, or a friendship, or a relationship. And this is where you currently are. And now a challenge, a help, or a hindrance for you during this time is the Knight of Pentacles. So this may be for you a desire or a quest that you're going on to build a structure or a foundation or a stability for yourself. Some of you may be feeling like you need to take account of your finances and grow wealth and be able to work hard to get enough money to take care of things. Or some of you may feel like the traditions of the past that have been set down to you by your ancestors are no longer working, and you are now working through generational patterning, conditioning, or trauma to create a new safety environment for yourself. And your unconscious or subconscious motives during this time is the King of Cups. So you may just be looking for some emotional boundaries during this time. The court cards represent people in our lives, parts of ourselves, or archetypes. And the King of Cups, this is an initiating outward authority energy over the realm of emotions, over intuition. And as we know, it's hard to be in control of feelings. Feelings come up. And so some of the well-aspected parts of the King of Cups is boundaries around emotions, and a wisdom about the sea of feelings that you can feel. Whereas an ill-aspected is a trying to control things that cannot be controlled, and trying to control your feelings or restrict or hold them back when you really need to express them. So in the position of the unconscious motives, this King of Cups energy is inside of you and needs to be brought up to the surface so that you can bring it into the light and heal it. And then your recent past is the Nine of Wands. So very cool. We've got all of the suits presented so far. No, wait, we don't have the swords yet. Almost. This is the Wands, and so this is a fiery energy. And the Nine of Wands is related to the Hermit, of going out on your own in search of truth and holding a light of integrity. And the Nine of Wands is you've been putting forth your creative vision, either in your work, in your home life, in your relationships. And for some of you, you may be feeling like the battle isn't done yet. You've been working hard, but there's still more that you need to do. And some of you may be feeling like, wow, now that I've created this for myself, is this what I wanted? Is this what I intended to happen? And that's a question you may be asking yourself. And so where is your conscious mind right now? This next card is your hopes, your ideals, and the actions that you've been implementing in your conscious life. And we've got the Seven of Cups. So you've been presented with a lot of choices, a lot of emotionally desirable or fearful looking choices. We see in the Seven of Cups, this is related to the Pisces energy of the 7. You also have the 8 here, very interesting. And you see in these cups maybe you're desiring a beautiful version of yourself, or a really wonderful lover, or a laurel wreath for being victorious. But what else is there? Who is that behind? Who's underneath that glowing curtain? Where is that dragon and castle? So there are some things here that could potentially be negative, but you are looking at all of these different possibilities and wondering which one is going to emotionally satisfy me the most. So maybe in your conscious mind, you've been consciously torn between different directions of where you're going to be the most emotionally satisfied. And if you think about it in your romantic life and in your love, this may be feeling like you have potentially different choices as to who you're going to be intimate with. And if you're in a relationship, this may be showing that there are other options, or there are different ways that you can get your needs met in the relationship that you are in. And this is also in a career sense, maybe there are many different passion projects that you're interested in, and you have yet to make a choice about where you want to devote your energy to. And Virgo, the near future for you is the Five of Swords. And the 5 represents an imbalance or a struggle, and swords are ideas, intellect, communication. And there is a sense of betrayal in this card, of going against your word, or somebody else going against their word. So you may see somebody not aligning with you on what your creative vision together was, or somebody in your romantic life saying one thing and doing another, or potentially somebody that you have been working with saying one thing or doing another. Or maybe this has been something that you have done as well. It may be coming up that you're going to have to make a decision that's going to hurt somebody else. And then we have your current, your approach to the current situation. And after your approach to the current situation, we have your environment and how it's affecting you, and then something that is affecting you that you are not yet aware of, and then finally, the distant future. So, for how you're approaching the situation is the Tower. Whoa! So the Tower is a big changing, transformative energy, very much in line with the Scorpio energy that we have going on right now. This is wisdom visited upon you at warp speed. You may be in the midst of learning a lesson about what you want to bring into the world and what you need to let go of, but the Tower is suggesting that you're ready to throw it all in. You're ready to make some big changes and reveal some truths to other people in your life, or maybe you're ready to have a truth revealed to you so that you can change your course. And your environment, these are people in your life. friends and family, and also external situations that are affecting you. And here we have the Three of Swords. And this may be after letting go, after having to make a challenging decision about where you want to put your time and energy. The Three of Swords is saying that you're going to have to let go of something, and it may hurt and it may feel like a heartbreak. And if this is in a romantic reading, then there may be some strategy going on, some betrayal, and then an eventual heartbreak. But this could also mean letting go of something that doesn't work for you anymore. This could be letting go of a bad habit, or a habit that just doesn't, bring you to your highest good. And then something that has been affecting you that you are not yet aware of is the Chariot. So this is suggesting that you have the will and the determination to bring yourself to that place that you have set out for yourself. The Chariot is related to Cancer, which has this element of nurturing, of home, of taking care of what's in your inner shell. But the Chariot also goes out into the world and brings their determination and their will to create something. Also, the creatures that are on either side of the Chariot can represent your whims, your impulses. And through Chariot energy, you're able to direct those whims and impulses into one track so that you can fulfill whatever your mission or your desire is. And then your distant future is the Page of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords. So this is another court card energy, and the page is youthful. This is a young energy, and with the swords, it's learning and it's understanding and communicating and intellect. So this may be you in the future wanting to go back to school, wanting to learn something new, wanting to be an apprentice in a certain situation. So maybe through the situation that you have here that you've learned, you realize that there's a part of yourself that's ready to study again and ready to be young. Or this could be somebody that is in your life who is youthful that you are then mentoring and taking care of. So a couple of patterns that I'm seeing here is your unconscious motives are King of Cups. Your current situation is the Eight of Cups. And then your conscious motives is the Seven of Cups. So we see that underneath it all, you are trying to create boundaries and emotional balance for yourself. And currently you are in a situation where you're having to let go of something that may give you grief, and it may feel like you're letting go of it forever. But what you're consciously seeing is that there are other options. There are other directions that you can go that may better behoove you and your vision for what you want to do in your life. And then in your recent past, we have the Nine of Wands, the current situation, the Eight of Cups, and then the near future, Five of Swords. And then the distant future, the Page of Swords. So you may be going from having a creative vision, something that you've brought to life and put a lot of work in, that you may not feel completely satisfied with in the past. And then currently, once again, you're ready to let go of something to move forward. And then what you're moving forward to right now is having a difference or a betrayal or a letting go or a change in your course. And that's going to lead you to a place of being youthful, curious, and learning something new. And yes, we have a balance between your approach and something that's affecting you that you're not yet aware of. With two major arcanas, you're ready to make a change, and your will and determination will guide you. And so, Virgo, that is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like, please watch one of the other videos that does the sun and your rising so that you can get all of the information. But yes, I'm just so glad that you joined me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.